I guess we talking about
What are we talking about?
I choose you.
I choose you.
I choose you.
You.
You. Really, each day you really have to. Before we start, you know what? It's been a minute, friend.
It has been.
It's been a minute. Hey. It has really been a minute. Not because we haven't wanted to, but just life been lifing. And so it's been a minute. But I do want to thank all those people who have stopped me or friend and said, hey, are y'all still recording? Hey, y'all got a new episode coming out? Hey, what about your podcast? Hey, I want to see you.
All y'all. We appreciate y'all.
We appreciate it. We really do. So we back at it, friend.
We here.
We back at it.
We got a lot to talk about.
A lot.
Every day, all day.
That part. So today we're talking about choosing your partner. And that's a choice you have to make on a daily basis.
You know, you said, I choose you. Yes. And I think about the fact that maybe you choose you or your partner. Who do we choose?
You mean when you saying choose yourself or choose your partner?
Yes.
Because
sometimes people choose only themselves all the time and they don't choose their partner.
Then they need to be by themselves. Because if you never choose your partner,
it's a problem.
That's a problem. That's not a relationship. That's a you thing. Mm-hmm. And you need to be by yourself. Yeah.
But sometimes we do need to choose our other person. We need to choose our partner.
Yes.
And sometimes we do need to choose ourselves.
Yes.
Especially if we're giving ourselves away too much.
Too much. Yes. But there has to be a balance. And when we say choose yourself, we're not talking about to the exclusion of your partner. You mean, hey, I need to take care of me. I need to make sure I'm well so that I can give back to my partner. Absolutely. So it's not really to the exclusion of you, but I also need to include me. If that makes sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I like the balance. The balance
absolutely got to have that balance. Because we have to think about the fact that, when you fall in love with somebody, it's involuntary, right? So, but staying in love is a choice.
And love is an action word. And we've talked about that before. I can say I love you all day. But if I don't show that I love you through my actions, not just my words, then do I really love you?
Right. Because love is indeed an action word.
It's a verb.
Right. It is.
So
and I need you to put that in action. Yeah. Love on me, baby. Love me or leave me is what they say. You silly. But absolutely, I mean, so you have to stay committed.
Yeah.
Each and every day you have to wake up and say, I choose this person. Even though I might not like your ass today, I choose you.
Now let's tell the truth, because there are days that we don't like our partner.
Oh my God. This is true.
But
we talking about love.
We are.
You can love them every day, even though I don't like you every day.
Oh my God.
I mean, am I being real?
She's telling the truth.
I don't always like my partner.
Okay.
I love them every day, but I don't always like them.
How do you think you show that love? How does that love actually show up? Like, how do you show it? How do you act that out?
One is remembering that I'm committed. I have to be committed to this union or to this partnership or to this relationship. And when you show love, it has to, again, like you said, love is an action word. It cannot be just, I'm thinking about me. So I think when you love someone, you also have to consider how your actions, your move, your thoughts, whatever it is you're going to do for that day or that moment, it has to be reflective of how it impacts them.
So basically just basic consideration for the other person.
Some human respect. How about that?
Like just not being in the relationship by yourself and feeling like everybody has to cater to you.
Oh, no. Because
we do have people like that.
We do, and they need to be by their damn selves.
Mika is definitely an advocate for being by yourself, people.
Yeah, I'm not an advocate for people who are in relationships where it's so one-sided. So this is what this whole topic is about. You can't have a one-sided relationship.
Mm-hmm. Where the one person is always just catering to
you have
the
one
other
that's
person.
always giving, one that's always taking, and one that's always just considering him or herself. What can I get from you? Not how can I be of service to you? How can I provide for you? How can I, help you? How can I be a shoulder for you? But you need to be there for me all the time. I need you to be what I need you to be for me each and every day. Yeah, that ain't a relationship that I'm advocating for.
So tell me, what do you think? Like, why do self-centered, because that's what it sounds like you're describing.
Absolutely.
Why do you think self-centered people get into long-term commitments or partnerships?
Because it feeds them. They only get in relationships that will feed them. So if I can get your money, or if I can get you to cater to me, if I can get you to be there for me, but I don't have to reciprocate, that's the relationships they want. That's the relationships they seek. So I'm an advocate for the person who is in a relationship with the self-centered person. Get the hell out. You seen that movie? What it said? Get out. Get out. Because if they're not willing to change and they're not willing to choose you, then at some point, you got to say.
So, I have seen couples where it feels like one person is always catering to the other person. And I wonder how much, well, I guess I kind of know, how much of the responsibility on the person is it on the person that is doing all that giving, but how much of the responsibility is actually on the person who is taking all of that. So you think about people who maybe have been catered to all their lives. So an example, I guess, that some people might come up with is like your only child. And the two parents are always just catering to that child. I'm not saying this about all only children, so y'all please don't get in your feelings. Because I have an only child. But I'm just saying that sometimes their worlds just center around them and they don't know that they're doing it. They're not even aware that they're not self-aware enough to know that it's just all about them all the time. And they probably are like magnets to these people who are people pleasers and don't want to rock the boat. They're avoidant in that way, and then they just get into these little relationships and it creates this whole dynamic that continues to feed that cycle over and over again.
But it's about what you said. You said how much of the responsibility goes to each. And so when you have people who are like that, I think when you know better, you do better. I think it is the responsibility of the person who is probably the giver, to at some point say, hey, do you realize that you never give to me? Whether it's love, whether it's a hug, whether it's a thank you, whether it's whatever it is, at some point they have to take that responsibility to say, listen, this is how our relationship manifests itself, but this isn't working for me. Because at some point, even though you have givers and you have takers, we always talked about we're givers, definitely. But even in our relationships, at some point, it has to feed you. It has to, for you to be able to maintain a healthy relationship and to be happy. Even though you are a giver by nature, at some point, somebody has to deposit into you as well. And so if your partner is not depositing into you in some kind of way, that relationship is never going to be happy and is never going to be long lasting. If it's long lasting, somebody is going to be unhappy for a long time.
And harbor a lot of bitterness and resentment.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Which means it's still not going to be a healthy relationship.
Yes, for sure. I think about friendships and stuff where you're always accommodating the other person. You always go where they want to go. You always do what they want you to do. But never is it really a reciprocal kind of thing. And even though as a giver, because I know I've been guilty of this, I don't always tell people, hey, I feel either A, taken advantage of, or that I'm constantly pouring into you and I don't feel poured back into. I don't always offer that. Even though I am a giver, I don't always offer that information because, look, she's like, this is true.
This is true.
Like, I'll sit and be uncomfortable to make other people comfortable, which takes me to that statement that you always talk about. Like, I'm not going to set myself on fire to keep other people warm.
No, I'm not.
But there are plenty of people who may not set themselves on fire, but they definitely contort themselves to fit in a relationship where the other person is just going to keep, pushing them and making them more uncomfortable so that they have bigger space. And it's unfortunate because sometimes we don't always speak up for that. So I'm speaking to all my people who either have been a people pleaser, you're still a people pleaser, you're still just doing whatever everybody else wants you to do. Don't lose yourself in that. This is a time where you have to choose yourself.
Absolutely.
And figuring out exactly who you are and how you want to show up and how you want to even hold space for yourself so that you can feel whole and you can feel like you're getting the things that you need in your relationships as well. Because I think it transcends marriage or partnerships.
Absolutely. To any relationship.
Even friendships.
Absolutely. To
and
any relationship.
Y'all got them friends that's out here just take. Yep. And some of us got family members.
Oh, yeah.
That they take a lot. Especially y'all who let your family members borrow a whole lot of money all the time. Like, let me hold something, let me hold something, let me hold something. So,
the word is no.
We are not a savings
The word
alone.
is no.
Yeah.
N-O.
It might be time to
I
cut
have a
them
cousin.
off.
I love her. She says, no is in the dictionary for a reason. So the word is no. But you were talking about choosing you, but you also can choose your relationship. And what I mean by that is you have to choose the relationship that you want to have.
Yeah.
So when you're in that type of relationship where you're always giving and giving and giving, how you show up and choose that relationship is when we were talking about that balance, and it is your responsibility to step up or to speak out. You have to say, hey, this is the relationship that I want to have because I'm not getting it. Or this is what I need to see from you that I'm not getting. So you're choosing the relationship because you're choosing to tell them this is how I need you to show up, as opposed to being silent. Because if you're silent and you continue, like you said, to harbor those resentments, it's going to continue to manifest itself that way, and that's not going to ever serve you. And so you're going to be in a long-term relationship with somebody, but you're going to feel alone. And you don't want to be alone because nobody wants to be in a relationship and be alone.
Yeah.
My dad taught me I can do bad all by myself.
Right.
I don't need you to do bad.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Wow. So being in a relationship with somebody but still feeling very lonely.
Very lonely. That's when that person is not depositing into you. You're always giving and you're never receiving. And so at some point, you're going to be depleted. At some point, you're going to feel empty. At some point, you're going to feel like, okay, I have nothing else to give.
Yeah.
What can I do at this point? You want and you want and you want from me. And I'm trying to be there and I have been there. But at no point has anybody invested in me. So I'm investing in this relationship. I'm investing in you, but nobody is investing in me. So I'm alone.
Yeah. So, it just dawned on me, what about those people who they don't look like they need anything? And I know those people. Like, I am those people.
Right.
I don't look like I need anything. So I don't know that my husband always would know that I need something unless I'm completely struggling. And sometimes we wait until it is that bad before, because we're waiting for them to, and this is important, see us.
Right.
See that I'm struggling. See that I'm going through this. See that I need you. See that I need to be poured into. We have a big difficulty just asking for what we need before it gets to that place where you're so weighted down and you're so depleted and
but
you're so bitter.
Fair? Is that fair to to your partner.
I mean, in our own little minds.
Right. It's not.
We think it is.
But it's not. But you know why? You know what? Because we sit here and we're like, you've been with me this damn long. You should know when I'm hurting, or you should know that I need help. I shouldn't have to ask you. Right? But you also been with that person so damn long that you know they don't normally see it. And you have gone through this cycle over and over, like, how could he not see it? And he's sitting there thinking, well, why you ain't tell me? I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't read minds.
I know, but I know y'all out there, so I'm going to speak for you. I know there's a group of people out there who are saying, but you know I need help. You see the house is a mess. You know I need help. You see me struggling. You know I need help.
But okay, the house is a mess to who?
To everybody.
No, to you.
We tripping over stuff.
To you, but see, guess what? That doesn't bother them.
Yeah, but Mika.
But it doesn't bother them. It bothers you. So if you want to see it because it's bothering you, then you need to say, honey, I need you to get that. Because I promise you, my kids have done the same thing. They have gone, I remember a time I had the laundry basket in the hallway. My children would walk right past it and trip over the damn laundry basket because they didn't see it. Right? They overlook it. It's sort of like, you know how sometimes when you're, as a parent, we're both parents. You remember how when your kids were small, our kids aren't babies anymore, but when they were smaller and you know a certain cry, right? But you can hear them whining or crying and you know it ain't serious and you can overlook it. Mm-hmm. Somebody else can walk in your house and be like, do you not hear them making all that noise? You hear nothing because you've learned to overlook it because it ain't bothering you anymore, but it bothers them.
Oh, did you hear what you just said?
What I say, friend?
You said you have learned to overlook it.
You have learned to overlook it.
And I think some partners have learned to overlook that.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Be aware.
But you know what? It's gotten to the point they've overlooked it, but because it ain't bothering them.
But I think
if it bothers you, friend, you have to say, look here.
So I don't disagree with that. Because sometimes we don't ask for what we need. And right. I am those people. So I get that. I can hold myself accountable. However, there are also these people that know that something is going on or something is wrong and they choose to overlook it.
That's
or
a problem.
They're so turned inward.
Right. You're so engulfed in yourself. That's a problem in a relationship.
Exactly.
That's a problem. So what me and my husband talked about, this is leading to where you're talking about. I told him, you have to learn how to read the room. And I'm the room.
I'm the room.
You have to learn how to read the room. Seriously.
Did you teach him how to read the room?
He's doing so much better. I'm so proud of him.
Can you give us
high five to him. High five for real. Wherever he at, high five. Truly. Like, he can see that, I've never been one who did not wear my feelings on my sleeve. I think I'm doing a good job at keeping it in, but yeah, no. No, you know what I'm saying? When I was in 7th grade, my teacher wrote on my report, when she's happy, you know she's happy. When she's pissed, you know she's mad or whatever. Mm-hmm. I've never been one who's been able to not show it some way on my face. Right. So rather than ignoring that or overlooking that, you might want to lean in and say, babe, are you okay? Mm-hmm. Do you need help with something? Or is something wrong? Let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. And he's been so much better with doing that. Mm-hmm. Reading the room. Or when, now I don't have y'all all in my business, or when, when he wants to be intimate and I'm tired, listen, read the room. Read the room, because, you know what I'm saying? I would hate to give you one of them looks like,
gone over there, Cletus.
Listen. Do you not just see, I just got in this bed, it's 12 o'clock. I've been working all night. You've been sitting here chill. Read the room. Read the room. Read the room.
Oh my God.
Now, if I come in,
people that can't read the room though.
Listen, you better get a book. You better learn how. You better learn how to read. You better learn how to read the room. Read the room.
But people need to learn how to do that because some people can't.
Well, people who can't, you need to give them assistance. When you say responsibility, it's that other person in the relationship responsibility to say, listen,
that ain't working.
This is not working. This is what I need. Mm-hmm. You remember when I was looking like, I was all upset the other day and you said nothing? Mm-hmm. You should have. Mm-hmm.
And then what happens when the person gets super defensive? Because we all know that happens.
Then they know their ass was wrong. That's first and foremost. When they get super defensive, they know they wrong. That's a defense mechanism. They know they wrong. So own your shit is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Own it.
Right.
And be like, baby, I'm going to do better. You right. You right. So when they get defensive, just shut it down and say, you know what? You acting like that because you know you're wrong. So I'm going on over here till you figure it out. And when you want to resume this conversation like you got some sense, then I'll be here.
I get a sense that there's going to be some fights around that right now.
What? Listen, you can't fight by yourself. If I walk off and you can fight by yourself if you want, you're going to look crazy.
But you know what? That is a part about choosing you.
That part.
Because if the situation is getting to a place where it is unhealthy and everybody's yelling and screaming and we're not getting anywhere, it's probably time to take a time out. Absolutely. We talked about that in some other episodes where, sometimes things can get so heated and once your heart rate gets up too high, nobody can receive. So I don't know why y'all still talking at each other because nobody can receive anything.
That part.
So that really is choosing you and also choosing your partner because some of us, when we get too caught up in that, we get too upset, we might be choosing a case.
That part. Oh, yeah. And then you be soliciting my other services. And you don't want that.
Yeah.
Get the podcast, Mika, not the lawyer. You don't want that.
And Mika says she doesn't look good in orange, so.
I definitely do. Oh, my God, no. That is not my color.
So we're going to walk away.
Stripes ain't me. No.
Mm-hmm. Not stripes either.
No.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah.
There's a lot to this, though. There's a lot to choosing you when it's appropriate to choose you. And there's a lot to choosing your partner. Yep. A part of choosing your partner is also being aware of and being able to read the room, like you said.
Yep.
Like, that means I have to be inquisitive.
Yep.
That I see your frown and I know, well, she...
Or your body language is different. Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
But
so what about just choosing the relationship? Sometimes that requires you to choose you. I need a timeout. Mm-hmm. I need some self-care.
Yeah.
That's choosing the relationship, though.
It is.
Because that means I can get myself together and come back and still be with you. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. And still work on this.
Yeah.
So sometimes choosing, if your mind or your focus is choosing the relationship, whether that means in this moment I have to choose to cater to you or I have to choose to cater to myself. The focus should be, let's choose the relationship. And what is best for the relationship right now? Do I continue to argue and go back and forth with you? Or do I take myself a time out and say, hey, I need some time for me?
Well, realizing that you're not in a court of law and you shouldn't be sitting there arguing with each other.
But we do. I mean, relationships, we do.
We do. But if I'm going after the win, if I win, then the relationship loses.
Right.
If they win, then the relationship loses. But if we keep the main thing, and we keep
attack the problem and not each other.
Not each other. That's right.
Yeah.
Which kind of leads to an episode that will be coming to our podcast soon. Stay tuned. Go ahead and tell them your thing.
Oh.
See, you like that thing, for next time.
Right. We're going to have an episode talking about, when you've gone through something and you're just having, you're just having a bad day. You're having a bad month. You're having a bad week, a bad year. You don't want to leave that with your partner. And so that whole relationship, that whole episode is going to be about your partner wants to be humped on, not dumped on. So stay tuned for that.
Humped on, not dumped on. Hump and not dump.
Yes.
Some people don't want to be humped on either, though.
Well, I don't know why y'all in a relationship then.
Well, some people just like, I ain't got time for that. I don't want it. I'm not saying that. I'm a sex therapist, so I'm not voting for that. But I'm just.
What kind of relationship?
Listen, some people are.
That?
Listen, Mika. Some people, that's where they are in their life. And, we have to.
We 85. Even then, we can cuddle. We can hold hands.
We can cuddle and hold hands.
Yes.
But what if I'm mad with you?
Well, we'll work through that. I mean, we're going to come back through, we're going to always have some times in our relationship where we ain't happy all the time, but we work through it.
So how
but if you're in a relationship that when you can still do what you do and you don't want to do what you do, we got problems. That's a whole nother episode. We got problems.
So all the people out here that might have some low desire issues, y'all heard them.
Work on them. We got to fix that.
Well, I think that is a part of choosing a relationship.
Because even if you have low desire, that doesn't mean your partner has low desire.
It doesn't.
Right. So we got to work on that happy compromise.
Well, sometimes people,
and that balance.
Still talking about choosing you. Some people's drive is like ridiculous.
Listen, we understand. Lord knows we understand those kind of people. We understand that there are those kind of people out there.
They are.
Again, it's a happy compromise. Because just because you want to hump like rabbits all day and all night, don't mean I want to do that. So again, it's that happy compromise. So we're going to have to talk through that. Yeah. Stay tuned.
Yeah, because just choosing you again, like you don't. And I would say this, as I have said in every episode where we talk about sexuality and intimacy, I am not an advocate for just laying there and doing it.
No.
Even though you really don't want to. I feel like that is borderlining on rape or assault or even like venturing into that area, even though the person is not intending to do that. But you're kind of putting yourself in a victim's position when you don't choose to say, no, I don't want to do this. And I'm not talking about throwing that person a bone, because sometimes people do it and they really don't want to do it, but they're doing it out of their love and out of, you know, the need for connection, and they want to fulfill that need for their partner. So I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about,
you made that distinction.
Yeah, I'm talking about the people that are just laying there and taking it. And I've seen those people, and it breaks my heart because sometimes they have already been traumatized sexually. And the one thing that they try to do is to keep themselves from being in that situation by choosing themselves and being able to say no. But sometimes they feel like they can't because they're in a committed relationship. And so they just do it out of, you know, this person feeling like they really want it. So you are always falling into that situation. I'm also not talking about the people who are, you know, they may have a medical condition that is causing them not to want to do it. They may have a pain disorder. They may have sexual trauma that causes them not to want to do it. But again, reading the room, really knowing your partner, understanding how they feel about that, having those really deep conversations is so important.
And they may need to seek help. They really, because even though you have those people who are in those positions where it may be medical, it may be, doesn't, just because you're going through something, I can definitely empathize as your partner, but that does not mean that I'm still not going to have desires and wants either. So at that point, you know, we have to figure out how to balance the two. So they may need to seek help in those positions. So as opposed to just saying, you know, well, I got a medical condition, I don't want to do it, I don't, you know, and then your partner is left with
suffering.
Okay, they're suffering too.
Long suffering.
Yeah. So, you know, there has to be that balance, and there has to be, if you're choosing the relationship, we're choosing to work on this issue of our relationship. So they may need to seek help. Way above my pay grade, but I'm gonna tell you, they may need to see some help.
Well, I think it's really important that they, you know, come together and figure that out and not do this. You know, sometimes we point the finger. We know there's an issue in a relationship, and because the person who maybe has a lower desire, it's like, no, it's your fault. Go get fixed.
But that's what we were saying before. You have to attack the issue and the problem, not each other.
That's right. That's right. And I think that is a part of choosing the relationship.
Absolutely.
Choosing you and choosing the other person.
Yep, absolutely.
It's showing that I am choosing my partner because I have a longing to work on this.
Yes.
May not be able, it may not be easily figured out either.
Absolutely.
It may take some time. But, it still comes back to we got to create some type of synergy around us being together, us knowing how to attack. It's us against the world.
Absolutely.
Every problem, even them kids.
So absolutely. I had to pause on the absolutely.
Even them kids. Because the kids will do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They will. They will. So what we got down to is choose the relationship. Each day you have to wake up and say, I choose you. I choose you.
Cherish that person. Listen to that person.
Absolutely.
Watch them. Learn their things.
Absolutely.
Be inquisitive. Every day.
Absolutely.
And love is an action word.
That part. Say that again, friend.
Love is an action word.
Actions speak way louder than words.
It does.
You can tell me one thing, but if you ain't showing me,
She said, be by your what?
Damn self. That part.
Just done.
Yeah. We are into building healthy relationships. We ain't into staying in unhealthy relationships.
That's why Mika keep telling y'all to, just cut it because she not with that.
Yeah.
I'm not with it either, by the way. She just has a way of saying it that says, quit.
But we want you to be healthy. We want you to be happy. Yes. We want you to be loved. We want you to be secure. All that stuff. And if you're finding yourself in a relationship where you're not, that's because somebody isn't choosing you. And so you may have to get to the point where you have to choose you and be with just you.
Get out.
Get out.
She keep me laughing, y'all. Let me just say.
Well, good, friend.
This has been amazing.
Yeah. I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, me too.
So, and I hope y'all happy for us to be back.
I know. Y'all gotta come back. We got a whole new setup in here and everything.
We got a whole nother lineup of things to talk about and people to come in and y'all gonna see.
Listen, so many people talking about, I want to be on the podcast.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
We're coming for you.
Oh, yes.
We're coming for you.
Absolutely. I'm going to put him out. James Bowden, you're going to be one of the first. Yes. Don't be running now. Don't run now.
Come on in. I think we'll have Marty back.
Absolutely.
A whole complete mess. A complete mess. That's funny.
Absolutely. Well, until then.
Yeah, thank y'all so much.
And let's talk about it.